Bellerophon or Bellerophontes is a hero of Greek mythology. He was the greatest hero and slayer of monsters, alongside Cadmus and Perseus, before the days of Heracles, and his greatest feat was killing the Chimera, a monster that Homer depicted with a lion's head, a goat's body, and a serpent's tail. Her breath came out in terrible blasts of burning flame. Bellerophon was the son of the mortal Eurynome by either her husband Glaucus, or Poseidon. Etymology. One possible etymology that has been suggested is I micron I micron I 1/2 I from I squared I micron I 1/4 I 1/2 I 1/2 I squared I micron I 1/2 I squared I and I 1/2 I from I 1/2 I micron I per mil. However, Geoffrey Kirk says that I micron I micron I 1/2 I means slayer of Belleros. Belleros could have been a Lycian, a local daemon or a Corinthian nobleman. Bellerophon's name clearly invited all sorts of speculation. Bellerophon's myth, the Iliad vi 155 (203) contains an embedded narrative told by Bellerophon's grandson Glaucus, named for his great-grandfather, which recounts Bellerophon's myth. Bellerophon's father was Glaucus, who was the king of Corinth and the son of Sisyphus. Bellerophon's grandsons Sarpedon and the younger Glaucus fought in the Trojan War. In the epitome of Pseudo-Apollodorus, a genealogy is given for Chrysaor that would make him a double of Bellerophon. He too is called the son of Glaucus, the son of Sisyphus. Chrysaor has no myth save that of his birth, from the severed neck of Medusa, who was with child by Poseidon. He and Pegasus both sprang at the moment of her death. From this moment we hear no more of Chrysaor, the rest of the tale concerning the stallion only. Who visits the spring of Piran perhaps also for his brother's sake, by whom in the end he let himself be caught, the immortal horse by his mortal brother. Bellerophon's brave journey began in the familiar way, with an exile. He had murdered either his brother, whose name is usually given as Deliades, or killed a shadowy enemy, a Belleros, and in expiation of his crime arrived as a suppliant to Proetus, king in Tiryns, one of the Mycenaean strongholds of the Argolid. Proetus, by virtue of his kingship, cleansed Bellerophon of his crime. The wife of the king, whether named Antea or Sthembaia, took a fancy to him, but when he rejected her, she accused Bellerophon of attempting to ravish her. Proetus dared not satisfy his anger by killing a guest, so he sent Bellerophon to King Iobates, his father-in-law, in the plain of the river Xanthus in Lycia, bearing a sealed message in a folded tablet. Pray remove the bearer from this world, he attempted to violate my wife, your daughter. Before opening the tablets, Iobates feasted with Bellerophon for 9 days. On reading the tablet's message, Iobates too feared the wrath of the Erinyes if he murdered a guest. So he sent Bellerophon on a mission that he deemed impossible, to kill the Chimera, living in neighboring Caria. The Chimera was a fire-breathing monster whose makeup comprised the body of a goat, the head of a lion and the tail being a serpent. This monster had terrorized the nearby countryside. Capturing Pegasus. The Lycian seer Polyidus told Bellerophon that he would have need of Pegasus. To obtain the services of the untamed winged horse, Polyidus told Bellerophon to sleep in the temple of Athena. While Bellerophon slept, he dreamed that Athena set a golden bridle beside him, saying, "Sleepest thou, prince of the house of Aeolus? Come, take this charm for the steed and show it to the tamer thy father as thou makest sacrifice to him of a white bull." It was there when he awoke. Bellerophon had to approach Pegasus while it drank from a well. Polyidus told him which well the never-failing Piran on the citadel of Corinth, the city of Bellerophon's birth. Other accounts say that Athena brought Pegasus already tamed and bridled, or that Poseidon the horse-tamer, secretly the father of Bellerophon, brought Pegasus, as Pausanias understood. Bellerophon mounted his steed and flew off to where the Chimera was said to dwell. The slaying of the Chimera. When he arrived in Lycia, the Chimera was truly ferocious, and he could not harm the monster even while riding on Pegasus. He felt the heat of the breath the Chimera expelled, and was struck with an idea. He got a large block of lead and mounted it on his spear. Then he flew head-on towards the Chimera, holding out the spear as far as he could. Before he broke off his attack, he managed to lodge the block of lead inside the Chimera's throat. The beast's fire breath melted the lead, and blocked its air passage. The Chimera suffocated, and Bellerophon returned victorious to King Iobates. Iobates, on Bellerophon's return, was unwilling to credit his story. A series of daunting further quests ensued. He was sent against the warlike Ptolemy and then against the Amazons who fought like men, whom Bellerophon vanquished by dropping boulders from his winged horse. When he was sent against a Carian pirate, Chimera, an ambush failed, when Bellerophon killed all sent to assassinate him. The palace guards were sent against him, but Bellerophon called upon Poseidon, who flooded the plain of Xanthus behind Bellerophon as he approached. In defense the palace women sent him and the flood in retreat by rushing from the gates with their robes lifted high, offering themselves, to which the modest hero replied by withdrawing. Iobates relented, produced the letter, and allowed Bellerophon to marry his daughter Phileno, the younger sister of Antaea, and shared with him half his kingdom, with fine vineyards and grain fields. The lady Phileno bore him Asander, Hippolochus and Laodamia, who lay with Zeus the counselor and bore Sarpedon but was slain by Artemis. Flight to Olympus and fall. As Bellerophon's fame grew, so did his hubris. Bellerophon felt that because of his victory over the Chimera, and because he thought he was a god he deserved to fly to Mount Olympus, the realm of the gods. However, this presumption angered Zeus and he sent a gadfly to sting the horse, causing Bellerophon to fall all the way back to earth. Pegasus completed the flight to Olympus where Zeus used him as a pack horse for his thunderbolts. On the plain of Ilion, Bellerophon lived out his life in misery as a blinded crippled hermit, grieving and shunning the haunts of men until he died. In Tlos, near Phethi, in modern-day Turkey, ancient Lycia, there is a tomb with a carving of a man riding a winged horse. This is claimed locally to be the tomb of Bellerophon. Euripides' Bellerophontes. Enough fragments of Euripides' lost tragedy Bellerophontes remain embedded as some 30 quotations in surviving texts to give scholars a basis for assessing its theme, the tragic outcome of his attempt to storm Olympus on Pegasus. An outspoken passaggio in which Bellerophon seems to doubt the god's existence from the contrast between the wicked and impious, who live lives of ease with the privations suffered by the good is apparently the basis for Aristophanes' imputation of atheism to the tragic poet. Perseus on Pegasus. The replacement of Bellerophon by the more familiar culture hero Perseus was a development of classical times that was standardized during the Middle Ages and has been adopted by the European poets of the Renaissance and later. In popular culture, the first planet discovered orbiting a sun-like star, 51 Pegasi b, has been unofficially nicknamed Bellerophon. Chimera, the 1972 National Book Award-winning novel by John Barth, includes a novella called Bellerophoniad that is a complex postmodern retelling and examination of the myth of Bellerophon. In The Concept of Anxiety, Søren Kierkegaard wrote that Bellerophon sat calmly on his Pegasus in the service of the idea but fell when he wanted to misuse Pegasus by riding the horse to a rendezvous with a mortal woman. The classical opera seria Il Bellerofonte of the Czech composer Josef Mysliviec, premiered in Naples, 1767. Its libretto by Giuseppe Bonicchi focused on the passion of the Queen Auntie. The French composer Jean-Baptiste Lully wrote the opera Bella copyright Rophon which premiered in Paris in 1679. Bellerophon is a computer program used by geneticists and molecular biologists to detect invalid chimera genetic sequences. Bellerophon was also the name of 4 or more Royal Navy warships, the first of which fought many naval battles against Napoleon. HMS Bellerophon unregistered trademark Esquile was laid down in 1782, she was launched in 1792 and broken up in 1836. Napoleon surrendered and was taken aboard the Bellerophon after his defeat at Waterloo. Known as Billy Ruffian by the crew, the 74-gun warship fought at the Battle of the Nile and Battle of Trafalgar. The second HMS Bellerophon was an early battleship, renamed Indus III in 1904 and used for training, then sold in 1922. The third HMS Bellerophon was the lead ship of a 3-ship class, which were a follow-up to HMS Dreadnought. She fought at the Battle of Jutland. For other ships of the same name, see HMS Bellerophon. The USS Bellerophon was one of 41 Achilles-class landing craft repair ships built for the United States Navy during World War II. She was the only U.S. naval vessel to bear the name. A large statue called Bellerophon taming Pegasus graces the facade of the Columbia Law School in Manhattan. Bellerophon astride Pegasus, as the first airborne warrior, is the traditional symbol of British airborne forces. Starships named Bellerophon have appeared in many TV shows and films, such as the 1956 movie, Forbidden Planet, the Andromeda episode Alone and Level Sands, the Star Trek, Deep Space Nine episode Inter Arma Enum Silent Legs. Bellerophon was also the name of a character on the series Xena, Warrior Princess, was the name of a planet in the series Firefly. Bellerophon is used as a name for a cure to the fictional virus Chimera in Mission Impossible 2. The name of a long-lost starship from Earth in the 5th episode of Season 3 of Andromeda. Bellerophon is the name of a disaster zone planet in the episode Milk Run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Bellerophon is a noble phantasm of Rider in Fate's Day Night that takes the form of the bridle used to tame Pegasus. Bellerophon, is the name of Demetrios Santsiliotis. Athens Music Project, Mythic Warriors is a television series with one episode on Bellerophon. References. Further reading, Graves, Robert, 1960. The Greek Myths, Revised Edition, Homer, Iliad, Book by 155 203, Korenyi, Carl, 1959. The Heroes of the Greeks, Kirk, G.S., 1990. The Iliad, A Commentary Volume 2, Books 5-8. External links, media related to Bellerophon at Wikimedia Commons, images of Bellerophon in the Warburg Institute Iconographic Database.